Alright, so we are going to start our bee with a magic circle of 6 stitches, and your bee can be whatever colors you want. I'm just using teal and a purple to show you guys. So magic circle with 6 single crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you will take the tail end of your yarn and you're going to pull on one of the loops of the magic circle to close the hole. And then you're going to grab your stitch marker and you're going to put a stitch marker in there. Okay, round 2 is 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. So you're just gonna go in and do 2 single crochets and each stitch around. Okay, so now you have your 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Next, for round 3, we are going to do 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. So I'm going to show you. So it's 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to put 2 single crochets. One and 2. Two, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so that's round 3 done. Round 4 is a single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets. So 1 single crochet into the next 2. And then 2 single crochets. One single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets, one single crochet into the next 2, 2 single crochets, and then you're going to repeat that to the stitch marker at the beginning, and I'll show you what this looks like at the end. Okay, so I'm coming up on this last stitch, and this is where our increase stitch is going to go. Okay, so 1 and 2, and then you'll put that stitch marker back in, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. So your 5th round is going to be a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. 1 and 2. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets. Okay, and then you're going to repeat that all the way around, and I'll show you what to do at the end. Okay, we're at this last round of stitches for this row. So single crochet into the next 3, and then 2 single crochets into that last stitch. Okay, replace your stitch marker. And then round 6 through 9, we're gonna single crochet in each stitch around, and at the end of the 9th row, we're gonna join our alternate color. So I will show you how to do that as well. So for round 6 through 9, all you're gonna be doing is just doing straight single crocheting all the way around. No increases, no decreases, just single crocheting. Okay, so I'll meet you back at the end of round 9, and I'll show you what to do to join the color. Alright, we're at the end of round 9, so I'm just going to finish up the stitch. And then I'm going to show you how to join our next color. So you're going to insert the hook, grab your working yarn, and instead of grabbing the yarn again and pulling through like a single crochet, you are actually going to take your new color that you're going to work with. So mine's going to be a purple, and you're going to pull on the working yarn tail of the first color that you were working with to make it tighter, and then you're going to finish off that single crochet with that next color. And then you're going to join that, you're going to put that stitch marker in again. And then for rounds 10 through 11, you're going to work in the alternate color. So you're not doing any increases or decreases, just single crocheting for rounds 10 through 11. And then at the end of round 11, we're going to go back to our first color. And I will show you how to do that at the end of these 2 rounds. Okay, so you're just going to do 2 rounds of that alternate color, and then I will show you what to do to join your next color. Alright, so we are at the end of this round for that color change, and you're just going to work these single crochets as normal, and then you're going to take that stitch marker out and just work in there like normal, and then put your stitch marker back in and continue this last round of the first color change. On camera, this is coming out like a light blue and a dark blue color, but I promise you it's teal and purple. Alright, so at the end of this round, we're going to join our first color back again, and I want to show you something. So in here, this is the tail end of the yarn right here. So you can just tuck that in there. And then what you can either do to join your colors is you can either bring this up, and when you do your single crochet to join, you use this color again, and then either cut this working end, or you can just keep it attached like we did with this teal. Or what you can do is you can cut the first colored yarn that we did and then join it back to that single crochet that we're about to do. So I'll show you both methods. So the first method is to start a single crochet, and then before you finish that single crochet, you take up the yarn, you pick up that yarn that we were first working with that we did not cut, and you pull that yarn through to join that color again. Or if you don't want to do that, what you can do is you can cut that tail, and then you can take the color that we first started with and join that to make a single crochet. And then you're gonna have a few loose ends, and if you want to, you can tie them up and knot them. And if you were to do that, this is what that would look like. So for our first, this is the tail end. So this is our first color change. So I'm just gonna show you what I would do. I would just make a quick knot here. Okay, and then that would be done. And then you can do that again for when you're done with this color change. So those are just two options about what you can do for color changes. Whichever one is easier for you is honestly which one you should go with. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna tighten both tails of that yarn, of that color switch, add your stitch marker, and then for rounds 10 or 12 to 14, you're gonna single crochet. So rounds 12 to 14, you're gonna do regular single crocheting. Okay, so you're gonna continue that around, and you're gonna join like normal. You're gonna keep single crocheting like normal, and then I will meet you at the end of round 14 to do our color change again. Alright, I am at the end of round 14, and we are just gonna do that color change back into the purple, or whatever color you're using. And this time I'm just gonna show you how to do it without cutting your yarn. So you're just going to pull up on that color change, and you are going to go into the stitch, alright, so to do that color change without cutting your yarn, you're going to go in the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through like you're doing a regular single crochet, and then you're gonna grab your yarn, the yarn that you're gonna do your color change in, and you're gonna finish that single crochet, and then you're just gonna make sure that both tail ends are nice and tight. Okay, so that is rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. rounds 15 through 16, so for 2 rounds you're going to just use single crochet in that alternate color. Okay, and you're going to continue that around, and I will meet you back at the end of that second row of the color change. Alright, so here we are at the end of that color change, so I'm just going to join to the regular color that we first started with, and again I'm just doing the pull-up method. I'm not going to cut it or anything. Alrighty. Now for rounds 17 and 18, all you're gonna do is single crochet around, and then after that we're gonna start with our decreases before we stuff the bee. Okay, so you're just making single crochets around the body of the bee. Okay, so I have finished with round 18, and for round 19 we are going to start our decreases. So round 19 is a single crochet into the next 3 and then single crochet 2 together. So it's single crochet into the next 3 and then single crochet 2 together. And you're going to continue that around, single crochet into the next 3 and then single crochet 2 together. And you'll repeat that all the way around. And this is creating the back of the bee. Okay, and then in the stitches with the stitch marker is going to be your single crochet 2 together. And then round 20 is a single crochet into the next 2 stitches and single crochet 2 together. So it's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then where that single crochet 2 together was from the previous round, that's where our next single crochet 2 together is going to go. Single crochet 2 and then single crochet 2 together. Single crochet into the next 2, single crochet 2 together. and then single crochet 2 together. And then that is the end of round 20, and round 21 is a single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. So before we go on any further, I'm going to cut this purple yarn. I'm just going to hide it in the body. If you want to do the tying together, you can, or if you just want to have it stuffed in there, that's fine too. So round 21 is a single crochet and then single crochet 2 together, and we are also going to stuff our bee at this point. So 1 single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, so we're gonna stop there and we're gonna get our stuffing. So I'm just using polyfill stuffing, but I have seen people online take pillowcases and open up their pillows and use that for stuffing. Whatever works for you. And you're just going to take that stuffing and stuff it in your bee, and you're gonna help shape it into whatever shape that you want it to be. I kind of want the face to be kind of flat and round like this instead of pointed, so I'm just going to make sure that that happens. Okay, then I'm going to take some more stuffing and I'm just going to stuff it in. And this is actually one of the patterns that I came up with for a fall festival that I did with some of my coworkers back in October, and it was so much fun, and this was one of the items that I was selling. And so I'm planning to, whenever I have the time, to start making videos of all the little animals that I have made for that, as well as my regular creations on the normal daily basis that I'm able to do. Okay, so you can always stuff more as we close this hole up. Okay, and then a trick I'm going to show you is when you're stuffing and you have, when you're doing, when you're closing up your work and you have stuffing, you can use your finger to kind of push that stuffing down so that your stitches are more visible, and that way you don't pull stuffing out while you're working. Okay, so a single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. Single crochet, and then where your stitch marker lands is where your last single crochet 2 together is going to go. Okay, and then you're going to slip stitch into that next stitch, and then you're going to give yourself a nice long yarn tail, and you're going to cut. You're going to pull that through. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take a yarn needle and you're going to weave this through your stitches. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and you're going to go through the front loops of your stitches just to give it a nice clean look. If you want to go through both sides of the stitching, you can, but I just go through the front loops just so that it's less bulky and it creates a better closure, in my opinion. Okay, and before we fully close this, if you want to add more stuffing, this would now be the time to do so before you completely close it. So I'm just going to add some more to make it a little bit more sturdy. Okay, and then you're just gonna go through the rest of the stitches until you get back to that front stitch that we just started with. And then you're gonna pull tight, okay? And then to close, you're just gonna weave in and out of that opening a couple times just so that you have a good solid closure. Okay. All right, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a few knots. So you're just gonna pull your yarn through, but you're not gonna pull it through all the way, and you're gonna go through that loop and pull tight. And then you're gonna go to another area on your bee. And do the same thing. You're just gonna find a stitch and then do another tight loop. And then you're gonna do that one more time, or as many times as you want. If you are giving this to like an infant or a toddler, I would suggest definitely knotting off multiple times just so that it doesn't come undone and stuffing doesn't come everywhere. There is going to be some stitches that after some wear and tear and when somebody plays with it, they are going to stretch out, and that is completely normal, and there's almost nothing you can really do about that. Okay, so now that I have woven my end in, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it. And then that is the body of the bee. And now I'm going to show you how to make the wings. So you're going to need 2 wings. I'm going to show you how to make one on camera. And then I will show you how to make everything else as well. Alright, so for our wings, you're going to take your white or whatever color you choose. And we're going to make a magic circle with 6 single crochets as our first round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you are going to pull that magic circle closed. And then add your stitch marker. Okay. And then round 2 is 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So you're just going to go into each stitch and do an increase stitch. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, and then we're coming up on that last stitch. So 2 single crochets into that last stitch. And then around 3 is a single crochet and then 2 single crochets. Okay, so it's a single crochet and then 2 single crochets. And in the last 2 stitches, it's a single crochet and then 2 single crochets. Okay, round 4 is a single crochet into the next 2. 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets into the 3rd. Okay, so you're going to repeat this all the way around. 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets into that 3rd stitch. One, 2, and then in that last couple stitches, single crochet into the next 2, and then 2 single crochets into that last stitch. Okay, you're going to insert your stitch marker back into that same stitch we just finished. And then rounds 5 through 8 is just a single crochet. So you're just going to single crochet all the way around, no increasing, no decreasing. And you're going to do this for rounds 5 through 8. So I will meet you back when we're at the end of round 8. Alrighty, so I am at the end of round 8. And we are going to do the last couple single crochets for this round. And then we're going to start with our decrease round. So round 9 is a single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, so it's single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. And then the last sequence of stitches for this row. And then the last row, round 10 for the wings, you're going to do a single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. Single crochet and single crochet 2 together, and you're going to continue this all the way around. And then the last stitches that your stitch marker should end up on is that single crochet 2 together. And then what you want to do is you want to make a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then that way it's a nice clean ending. And then you're going to take your yarn and cut off a good tail's worth. Then you're gonna take your finished, you're gonna take that yarn tail and you're gonna stuff that yarn tail in it. Okay? And then what you have is a cute little wing for your bee. So you're just gonna make another wing the same way that I just showed you, and then I will come back and I will show you how to make the little stinger and put everything together. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to make the stinger. So we're going to be using black yarn. We're going to make a magic circle with 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're gonna close that magic circle up. Okay. And then you're gonna insert your stitch marker. And then in each stitch around, you're gonna do a single crochet. So you're just going to do a single crochet, no increasing or decreasing, just single crochet in each one of these stitches. And this is going to help us create our stinger. And the stinger is something that we do not stuff, but if you want to stuff it, you can. And then in that last stitch, we're going to do that single crochet. Okay. And then for round 3, it's going to be a single crochet and then 2 single crochets. So it's 1 single crochet into that first stitch and then 2 single crochets. Okay, 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets into that last stitch there. And then you're going to slip stitch into that next stitch and leave a nice long yarn tail for sewing. And then you're just going to take that working tail and pull it through. And then there is your little stinger. And we will add that to the back when we are ready. And for the yarn tail, if you want to, you can stuff it in, or if you want to cut it out, you can. So that's the stinger. So I'm going to make another wing, and then I will show you how to sew everything together. Alright, so now that we have made all of the parts to our bee, I'm going to show you how to put it all together and to add the face and finish your beautiful bee. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a yarn needle that is big enough to fit the yarn through the hook, or the yarn through the eye of the needle. So here's one. So the eye of the needle is not too big and not too small. Okay. And when we put our wings on our bee, we want to make sure that the seam is towards the bottom. So this is the seam where all the color changes have gone. We're going to want that towards the bottom. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kind of gauge about the middle of your bee, and you're going to take your bee wings and you're just going to kind of map them where you think that they would look good and where you want them to go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold it together on your bee, and then you're going to start sewing it on. So you're going to sew it, you're going to take a stitch from the body and then go through both loops of the wing, and you're going to pull that through, and then you're going to go through the next 2 stitches of the wing and a stitch of the body and go through that, and then you're going to go straight to your next couple stitches of the wing and go through. And then you're gonna go through the next 2 stitches of the wing, grab a stitch of the body, and pull that through. And then continue this all the way to the end. And then once you're at the end, you're gonna find a stitch that's as close to the end of the wing as you possibly can get it. And then you're just going to make a loop and finish off. And then what you can also do after you've made that loop to finish off is you can also weave in and out of the wing itself. So you can take your needle and go through the wing and find a stitch that you can also do a finish off stitch at. Okay, and then you can go through a couple other stitches and then just find where you want to finish. Okay, so once you're happy with where you finished, you're gonna pull that yarn tight and then cut it, and it'll kind of bury in that wing. And then you're going to do that again for the next wing. Okay? Okay, so you're going to take your wing and you're just going to map it on the bee's body to see where you might like it. Okay? And then you're going to pick up a stitch from the body of the bee, and you're going to go through some stitches of the wing. And then you're going to go through another 2 pairs of stitches of the wings and grab a stitch of the body. And you're just going to continue doing this on this side as well. So you're going to grab a stitch of the body. Stitch the wing, and then same thing as we did before, we're just gonna find a spot where we can finish off there. And then we're going to go through a few stitches of the wing. And then once you're done and happy with where you finished off and everything like that, you're just going to weave through wing again. And you'll cut it tight so that when you do cut it, it will seamlessly be inside the wing. Okay. Now we're gonna put on the stinger. All right, so you're gonna take the end of where we finished off, so this little section, and you're gonna put that going downwards on your little bee, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna weave through the body okay, so you'll find a stitch, weave it through the body, and then you're going to go through 2 stitches of the stinger. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go through the next 2 stitches of the stinger, go through a stitch of the body, and this just creates a nice seamless effect. And then you're going to go through the next 2 stitches of the stinger. And you're just going to keep on weaving in and out, just like so. Okay. Alright, and then once you get to the end, you're going to weave through those last 2 stitches of the stinger. And then you're just going to make a couple knots where you finish off. Okay. And then you can just carry your needle through the stinger a few times to kind of bury your yarn tail. And then once you are happy, you can take that yarn and go straight through that stinger and then cut your yarn. Okay, cut. And then what you're going to do with your leftover black yarn is we're going to make the face. So you can make the eyes and the mouth however really you want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of map out my eyes. So I'm going to kind of put an eye here and an eye here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in through that stitch. I'm just going to go through one of the rounds. And then when I go in to do my second pass, I'm going to come over here across the face. And I'm going to make my eye. Then I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to do the second pass on the eye over here. Okay. And then when I do this eye, I'm going to carry the yarn down to where I want the face to start. So I'm gonna start my smile about here. So I'm gonna take my needle and I'm going to bring it down there. Okay, and I'm gonna make the little happy smiley on the side first. Okay, so I'm gonna just do that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the next couple stitches. I'm just gonna kind of do like a whip stitch. And so I'm just gonna keep on doing this so it creates a nice little smiley. Okay. And then this is where I'm going to create the other side of that little smiley face portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the side and I'm going to make 2 passes, and on that second pass what I'm doing here is I'm going to go through. And then when I go through again, I'm gonna meet up here where that black yarn is for where I started the eye at. I'm gonna pull that through. Okay, so we have our nice little smiley. And you can make this as lopsided as you want to. That is completely up to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it. And since it's coming through the same hole, I'm gonna make a little knot. And then I'm gonna take a yarn needle with a bigger eye, and I'm going to take the yarn and I'm gonna kind of weave it back into the body just in a random spot, and then that way there's your nice little finished bee. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.